Bismillah wa Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Before starting with the presentation, I have just for 1 minute some thoughts to share with you. With all what we have now, what we face now, and all the emotions that we have with what's happening in Gaza and in Palestine. And some of us might wonder actually, is it a time that we can spend the whole day talking about tarbiyah and training, and we are out of mood, out of inspirations, and out of emotions, and Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu used to say, إني لأحتسب قومتي إني لأحتسب نومتي كما أحتسب قومتي. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time to give me the reward for my sleep as I'm asking Him to give me the reward for my prayer. So he was taking his life as a complete picture, a complete perspective. And yes, we are touched by and affected by what's happening in Gaza and Palestine, and which is bothering everyone for sure. Any mu'min has to be bothered, has to be nervous, has to be. And this is part of the pains that we should feel. But at the same time, we have other tasks that we have to deliver to, which is the task of the da'wah that we are in. And they are saving and serving the thagra, the gap they are filling, and we have to support. And we have a thagra, we have a gap here, we have a task here that we have as well to stand for and to continue working for. And even what's happening over there should leave us, and mashallah, the resilience that we see, they are giving us the practical lesson, not by the words, but by their actions, standing their feet very strong, despite all what's happening. It's not just for 30 days today, but it is for over 75, 76 years. And even before that, 50 years before the 75, when the plans started at the end of the 19th century. So let's actually consider that, keep that in mind while we are pursuing our halaqat, while we are pursuing our usr, pursuing our mentorship, pursuing our activities, if you have an activity that you are running, because you will tahtasib what you do as you tahtasib what you feel. And you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to alleviate the pain that they are facing and to make us a reason for alleviating it. And as well, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the resilience and the power to serve. Where are we now? Because I believe if we are stronger than what we are now as American Muslims, if we are stronger really and standing our grounds firm, and if we have a power, the voting power, the political power, the effect in the community and in the society, wallahi, these administrations would have not been able to do what they are doing for years, for decades now. And number one supporter and the financier for the Zionism is the US, and this is then our weak position as a Muslims here, that we are not able to impact our own administration. So it should leave us with a sense of commitment and resilience to increase our power here. So if they will try to do it, Allah forbid, if they will try to do it again, they will find the strong back. And we need to be the Rukn Shadid, the strong back that when our brothers anywhere, not just in Palestine, if it happened as it happened in Iraq, it happened in Afghanistan, it happened now in Palestine, if they have a strong back, Rukn Shadid with us, we would have been able to do a better job than we do. So let's actually take that in perspective while we are pursuing our da'wah activities. Our business now, and I should have finished by 2:30, so we still have only 33 minutes, but we'll do our best actually. This is not a lecture. This is not a talk. This is a discussion. And we need to take it this way. Discussion on practical skills that we need as mentors, regardless of the age that you mentor. Whether you do mentor high school, middle school, CYP or adults, mentor, you are impacting others. You are trying to leave an effect on others, regardless. You need to acquire skills that can allow us to make an impact. Otherwise, our tarbiyah efforts will be useless. will be inefficient. And this talk or this time is for that, actually nurturing the spirit of a murabbi or a mentor, activating your inner mentorship or your inner mentor and sustaining it. The format I will use, although I have a considerable material that I will share with you, it's a good material, but we need to have it as a discussion. The remaining time will be a kind of discussion, mashallah, when I see all the faces. I know there are people in the crowd who are very deep in the tarbiyah, and they have tarbiyah experience. And tarbiyah experience knowledge, whether knowledge or experience. So please, let's together, myself and you and everyone, share and deducting and getting the lessons from that we would like to share here. So, and this is why. I will move forward with the slides, and at any time stop me for question, for addition from your own experience, because I believe that you have your experience. There are areas that I don't have experience in. I don't know how to make mentorship or tarbiyah for middle schoolers, high schoolers. I don't know. But many of you know. So, and the attendees here are for all ages. We made decision to serve all ages, middle, high, and CRP and adults. So please, whatever experience that you have to increase the richness of the material, help me and help everyone with that. Second, to speed up the process and to gain as much benefit as we can, make your inputs and as quick as possible. So we will entertain as many of these inputs, and as well we can finish the presentation. I will start with the word of Umar radiallahu anhu arda, and Umar radiallahu anhu arda put us in perspective when he said, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min jalad al-fajiri wa ajz al-thiqa. And Umar was visionary, radiallahu anhu arda, and he used to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, none of these, I don't like to see any one of these two. Who are the two? The fajr, the one who is the untrusted, he is capable. I don't like that. And I seek refuge in you from this category. The untrusted but capable. And very skillful, but he untrusted. Jalad al-fajr. And the trusted is incapable. Ajri al-fiqh. So we need actually to stay away from any of these, which Umar radiallahu anhu arda asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to secure him from. And we need to be with a thiqa, but capable thiqa, jalad al-thiqa. We need to be the capable trusted. And this is why actually this presentation is for the trusted people to acquire the skills that make them capable of running the mentorship, of taking care of the mentorship. The agenda, very quickly, there are 3 items, and I will focus on the 3rd item. The bulk of the presentation, 3rd item. First item is, it's a theory. How can we change the mindset of the mentees or the mentors who have skills to be mentors from the theoretical, from the giving, to take them from the giving side from the taking side to the giving side, from the receiving end to the giving end. And we have a lot of people around us in the da'wah, in mass, and many of them are already mass members, but they're receiving. How many of us are giving? It's not as big as. So the first one, how can we motivate the receivers to be givers and to take themselves from the shell of receiving benefit, and attending the usr to acquire knowledge, to just to entertain themselves and to socialize, to the other side, which is giving, to be motivated to give. Give what? Giving tarbiyah doesn't have to be, can be, sure, that's great, to be mentors, but given in the big spectrum of the da'wah. Second, after you were able to motivate them to give, how can we activate the drive in them and in us as mentors, and in them as mentors to be, how to activate the drive in them to continue working, not just as spontaneous giving. We need to activate the drive to continuously give, given the big spectrum of da'wah, especially for tarbiyah, because we believe that tarbiyah is a core of mass. Now, how can we to be continually giving? The third one, which is the bulk of the presentation, what are the skills that should be, that every mentor needs to foster and to maintain, so he or she will be able to deliver the task properly, efficiently, effectively. These are the three items of the presentation. What is the message that would like to, this presentation or this session wants to do is we need to move as many people to be active and givers, and to be, instead being static, to be dynamic. Instead of being just receivers, to be givers. Second is to keep the dynamic nature, and as well to keep it all the time. How can we be all the time eager to give? And as well, the third one, how can we reach the level of that Omar was looking for, which is jalad al-thiqa. How can be the thiqa, the trusted, or jalad, capable and incapacitated. Now, how can we move people from, whether these people are our mentees, or if you are a mentor, for mentors? How can we move people from the receiving side to the giving side? The best we should actually do is to inspire them by the instilling in them that this is the 1, 2, 3, the ABC of me being part of the da'wah, is to be responsible of this da'wah. So the very, very beginning, even with the middle schoolers, but even with the high schoolers that you do mentor, and instilling them the sense of the citizenship in the da'wah is to be part of it. The citizenship in Islam is to be part of the da'wah of Islam. This is what Tufail ibn Amr al-Dawsi did. In the first day he accepted Islam in Mecca, he asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to send him to Daws, his own people. Send me to them. You just received the da'wah, you just received La ilaha Muhammad Rasulullah. Now you are dispatching yourself to be the messenger of the messenger. Now you are dispatching yourself to be giver. I did not even receive enough to take the responsibility. This is actually my citizenship in Islam, is a da'wah. And so Rasulullah sent him to Daws, and he came after that with the people of Daws. Most of them accepted Islam. And on the top of the people of Daws is whom? Who is the product of Tufail ibn Amr? On the top of the people of Daws? Abu Hurairah. And how many ahadith Abu Hurairah narrated, how many benefit that we got from Abu Hurairah. Abu Hurairah is accumulating all of these benefits, and who is gathering all of that? The aggregate for all what Abu Hurairah did is for Tufail ibn Amr al-Dawsi radhiyallahu anhu. And inspiring people that we mentor by that, you are the messenger of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in where you are. In your school, you are the messenger of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Put yourself in this position. Boy or girl, middle, high, or the college in your campus, you have to exemplify the message of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You should be guiding people to what you have been guided to. This is a very encouraging for people to start giving. Now, after the thoughts started working, yes, I have to contribute, I have to be agent for change. How can we help ourselves as mentors and help them to continue to keep this motivation lasting for a long time? Because actually, Iman yazid wa yanqus, and life is up and down, ups and downs. And sometimes at the ups down, we are motivated to give and to contribute and to provide others with help. At the downtime, many of us will feel that I'm out of mood. I cannot. I don't have the ability to do it. But at the time of downs, for those who are driven by a mission, they never forget the mission. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Surah يا أيها النبي إذا طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لما تحرم ما أحل الله لك, and it was a spread, the rumor spread that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is about to divorce his wives because his wives contributed together or conspired together that to increase their his spending sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and home allowances, and he sallallahu alaihi wasallam abandoned them for over a month. And Umar radiallahu anhu, because Umar is the father of Hafsa, one of the wives who contributed in that. Umar was afraid that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will divorce Hafsa, and he came to speak to him sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he was sad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The end of the story. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of the sadness he was in, he secluded himself away from his wives, and Umar radiallahu anhu saw how he lives sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and a very simple life he sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to live, and Umar made a statement that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied the statement with the full conscience of the man who knows that he never lost vision of his task, even with the downtime he was in sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عمر told him يا رسول الله ألا اتخذت فراشا خيرا من ذلك? Didn't you think we were able, if you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you better housing than that? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam right away on the spot, the one who was in down, he would have said that it's not the time actually to give you the bay'ah, Umar, now. I am out of mood, which happens to every one of us. When our downtime, I might even cancel my halaqa, my usra. I'm in downtime. I might even send the note that I cannot come to the usra today. My youth group that I used to run, I will find someone else to cover it. I'm out of mood. I have some issues. And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave Umar on the spot the lesson, and ألا ترضى أن يكون لهم الدنيا ولنا الآخرة يا ابن الخطاب. And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam started teaching and mentoring Umar while he was sallallahu alaihi wasallam in one of these tough times sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the point is how can we continue being motivated all the time to deliver to our message? One of the ways is to remember all the time the responsibility that we have. What's our responsibility? That he sallallahu alaihi wasallam commissioned us to what he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was commissioned to. بلغوا عني ولا آية. It's an order. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam made it the statement for every one of us till Yawm al-Qiyamah that you are the messenger of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So proclaim and send, pass to people from any of all the guidance that I gave you, even one ayah. So having this slogan in mind, بلغوا عني ولا آية, in our mind, this will help us to continue the energy and the power to continue delivering tabligh al-ayah. By the way, بلغوا عني, it doesn't mean that just verbally, all kinds of da'wah commitment, because this is what he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was dispatched for, alayhi salatu wasalam. The second one, which is if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala entrusted you with a job, especially for the mentors, and everyone here is mentor. You are entrusted in a few people in your halaqa, in your youth group, and you have a duty to deliver to their needs, and keeping this in mind, which is fulfilling the needs of the mentees. This will help you to deliver to them. يا أبا ذر إنها أمانة وإنها يوم القيامة خزي وندامة إلا من أخذها بحقها وأدى الذي عليه فيها. When Abu Dharr asked him sallallahu alaihi wasallam to appoint him, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him that very frankly that this appointment, any appointment, is a trust, and it is a source of regret Yawm al-Qiyamah for anyone who was given this trust and did not deliver to the due right of this trust. And you have 5-6 people in your youth group. You have 5-6 people in your usra, and the more, the bigger of the responsibility. And every one of them has a need. You, as a mentor, need to deliver to these needs. Keeping that in mind will keep me as a mentor all the time thinking of the need of every individual of them. من ولي من أمر المسلمين شيئا ثم لم يجهد لهم وينصح لم يدخل معهم الجنة يوم القيامة. Keep that in mind. As a mentor, whoever was assigned to one of the affairs of the believers, and he or she did not give it the due effect and the due interest and the time, يجهد جهد, got tired. He did not tire herself, giving it the due right, giving them the due right, will not be with them in the Jannah al-Qiyamah. It's a test. It's an honor to mentor people and to leave impact on people. And as well, it is a responsibility that you have to deliver to it, and keeping this responsibility in our mind all the time will help us to continue our energy to give them. Example, in your usra that you have 5, 6 people, high school and the edge of the high school towards university, and they should start thinking about the ACT or SAT, whatever exams, and they will start applying for colleges. It is your responsibility to help them on that. Even if I cannot help them professionally, I should be close to them emotionally, mentally, following up with them, connecting them with someone and some program who can guide them professionally. So it is part of my duty as a mentor for them is to deliver to their needs. A group of college students and or a couple of people in your usra, they're approaching marriage. And you know that they are in the age of marriage. And boy or girl, it's part of your obligation towards them as a mentor is to help them. Helping them and giving them some guidelines, helping them, connecting them with someone who can help, a program, matrimonial program who can help, someone who can help them in that, and trying to steer them to towards the correct choice to choose from. And this is part of your responsibility. If we keep the needs of the mentees in mind all the time, this will help us all the time to continue delivering. The hadith that I quoted here, which is a hadith in the Muslim Abi Dawud, it's a great hadith, which keep us in mind that how he was very happy when he visited this young Jewish boy while he was in the deathbed. And he told him, say La ilaha illallah to the boy. And the father is standing at his head. The father is a Jew and the boy is Jew. They both were a neighbor to him, and the boy asked, just looked at the father, what should I say? And the father said, Ati Abu Qasim. He knows that Abu Qasim is true. And it's just the other considerations. And the boy said it and died. And he left him saying, Alhamdulillah, الذي أنقذه بي من النار. Alhamdulillah, happily, was very happy that he delivered the message at the proper time. And what was the need for this boy at this time? La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. We need actually to explore the needs of our mentees, to keep searching on them, to keep looking at their needs, why he did not attend the halaqa, the usra for a couple of times. Instead of starting lashing, start asking. Instead of starting blaming, start wondering and start asking about them, visiting if you can. Moving forward. To the third one, which is, do you remember I mentioned honor and responsibility. And when you have a task of da'wah, this is an honor, especially for the mentors, this is an honor to be a mentor because of that the mentorship is connecting you with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the same task. What else is better than that? As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said at the end of Surah Yusuf, قُلْ هَذِي سَبِيلِي أَدْعُو إِلَى اللَّهِ عَلَى بَصِيرَةٍ أَنَا وَمَنِ اتَّبَعَنِي. Tell them, Ya Muhammad, this is my way. What's my way? I'm calling people to Allah, me and those who follow me. So for you to call people, for you to assume the same task of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's an honor for you, an honor for me to be part of this system. If you are a mentor, if you are an aqiba and don't take it as a load. Consider this ayah, the honor that you are in. Don't just consider the responsibility and you will not be admitted with them to the Jannah when they are in because you did not deliver, but deliver to the best of your ability and enjoy the honor being lumped together, connected together with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This should help us to be motivated to continue the mentorship. Now, how can we activate the drive? This is the second point. Now we moved ourselves, we moved people from the side of the receiver to the giver. Now, how can we maintain it? And we need to consider that it is an investment that we invest in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, please, if you have any input, interrupt me. We need to invest and consider the high reward on investment in the process that we are in. and in the responsibility that we are assuming. ROI is huge. And ومن سن سنة حسنة فعمل بها بعده كان له مثل أجورهم كان له أجرها ومثل أجورهم من غير أن ينقص من أجورهم شيئا. How many people that you have in your halaqa? 5, 6, 7, 8. And there is every one of these 7, 6, 8 is a potential for multiplication of your own reward. A potential for multiplication if I left an impact on him. If I leave an impact on her. This is a multiplication. If I say a good word in the usra or the halaqa that clicked with one of them, with 2, with 3, with 4, and it made a change in their ibadah, in their akhlaq, in their muamalat, in their activism, and who will get it? He will gain it. Me, you as a mentor who directed, who guided them. من سن سنة حسنة فعمل بها بعده. Keep that in mind. And you are in a business. هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم؟ من سورة الصف. تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون يغفر لكم ذنوبكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها وذلك الفوز العظيم إلى آخره. وأخرى تحبونها نصر من الله وفتح قريب وبشر المؤمنين. 3 ayat in surah towards the middle of surah al-Saf. Review them. So consider the cost that you are asked to pay, that you are asked to prepare before the usra. It's worth it. That you are asked to attend the usra or the halaqa. It's worth it. That you are asked to, after, in between the usra, to call them, your mentees, and to check on them. It's worth it. That you are asked to make activities, not just the attending the group or the halaqa or the usra, but to create activities for them. It's worth it because ألا إن سلعة الله غالية ولا إن سلعة الله الجنة. It's very dear. That deserves actually the payment that we need to pay from our time, from our efforts. So the ROI that for the investment that we do with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's worth all the efforts that we'll put in the process of the mentorship. ويوم القيامة يوم تجد كل نفس ما عملت من خير محضرة, and you'll see the piling up. All these piles of good deeds you will see before you يوم القيامة because of the investment that you did while you are in this dunya. Now, I'm quoting here actually one of the best phrases that I grew up on. In my usra last week we were talking about Muhammad Ahmed al-Rashid. For sure I know many people know him. And his wonderful book, Al-Muntalaq, one of the 3 great books that in my generation we grew up and learning from his books. And this statement, which is a great statement, which he called it Ad-Ghatta min Jahbath. It's a press, it's a hold, a great hold, great impressment from a skillful mentor. He said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Jibreel firmly pressed him sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the cave and asked him several times, 3 times, read. And he released him sallallahu alaihi wasallam بِإِقْرَأْ بِاسْمِ رَبِّكَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ. So Jibreel embraced him firmly and left him. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, غطى Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu warḍah, his cousin. He used to grow in the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فغطه, he nurtured Abdullah ibn Abbas and he left him اللهم فقهه في الدين وعلمه التأويل. And became Abdullah ibn Abbas the most knowledgeable in the Quran and in the fiqh of Islam. And he said, Rashi said, وَغَطَّكَ الدُّعَاةُ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ. And you need, and your senior mentors as well nurtured you. How many people you should nurture? So وَغَطَّ غَيْرَكَ هَذِهِ الْغَطَّة. And you need to nurture others as you were nurtured. And this is the mentorship. It's a mentorship started very, 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 very far away from طبعا Jibreel did not make تربية Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, just disseminated the message. لكن الله أدبني ربي في أحسن تأديب. It is from Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who sent all of these to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But with our human activities, it is our responsibility and our honor to make this ghatta, to make this embodiment for the people around us. Let's move, I will skip this actually to move to the fostering the skills of Murabbi, and to make the definition, the difference between what's Murabbi, what's Murabba, what's the tarbiyah, and the receiver is the mentee, the receiver of the goodness, and the giver of the goodness, or the mentor, and Murabbi. While the process itself is a tarbiyah, which is the process for mentoring people to make a change in the mind and body and the soul in a gradual way, leading to a change in their life. Now, as mentors, how can we, what are the skills that every mentor of us need to acquire and to maintain? The first one is to start with yourself, which is self-awareness and self-evaluation. Start with yourself, your own self. If you would like to be a successful mentor impacting others, you have first and foremost to start with your own self, to have your own حال in the روحانيات, حال with the عبادات, حال with the أخلاقيات, حال with the activity. Start with your own self. And this is why as well Rashid in his book called it دقة مركز القيادة. The delicacy of the position of leadership is very delicate. The leadership position is very delicate. It needs a great deal that people need to understand how delicate your leadership position is, and so you need to deliver to it. So the first one of the self-awareness is al-Rabbaniyah. You need to take care of your own ibadat with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You need to take care of your own relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I cannot fakingly giving the people on my usra advices for how to deal with the Quran, or how to keep your relationship with the Quran, unless myself first has a continuous, effective relationship with the Quran. I cannot help them to keep up with the sunnah till I myself keep up with the sunnah after the salawat. I cannot. And this is actually that you need to be yourself first, Rabbani, with the genuine. It's not just to fake it, to be able to make it. But this is actually, you need to make it because you have to have this in yourself. ولكن كونوا ربانيين. So the first one is to observe your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فإن ما خرج من القلب وقع في القلب وما خرج من الفم لا يتجاوز الأذان. And it depends on the communication from heart to heart, it will make an impact. But the communication from the tongue to the ear, it will never reach even the ears, because there is no the sincerity in the communication. So this is first one. As a mentor, we as mentors, we need to have our own connection with the Quran. And you need to keep, and to raise your bar, which is the next point. It's not just any connection with the Quran, but it's solid connection with the Quran. Solid connection with the Sunnah. With your ibadat yourself. With qiyam al-layl yourself. With. Because this is actually da'wah rabbaniyah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not give the tawfiq except for those who are observing this da'wah. Second one, which is the self-purification. We mentioned rabbaniyah, now akhlaqiyat. Yourself as well, you need to start with yourself by raising your own bar with the akhlaqiyat. And I quoted here a wonderful advice from Utbah ibn Abi Sufyan, and he gave an advice to the mentor of his son, saying that ليكن أول ما تبدأ به تربية ابني تربية نفسك، أو ليكن أول إصلاحك لولدي إصلاح نفسك، فإن عيونهم معقودة بعينك، فالحسن عندهم ما استحسنته والقبيح ما استقبحته. You need to start with yourself first. And you need first to take care of your akhlaq if you would like to leave an impact on the akhlaq of my son. On your ibadat, if you would like to leave an impact on the ibadat of my son. Because what you see as God, they see as God, because they are observing you. By the way, when you are in an usra, and in the middle you had salah in the middle, Maghrib or Isha or it happens sometimes that we, after making these salah, we right away go to continue and move to continue with our usra. And people around you, romantics, are looking at you. Are you doing the sunnah or not? And especially for the youngers, by the way. If you have a middle school, high school, younger people, They are observing you. And they will see, and your children at home, they're observing you. Are you really, after make a jama'ah and at home, are you right away jumping to this and checking your phone? It happens, huh? Or you are sitting and making tasbih for the salah, and after the tasbih or make dua and praying the sunnah. They will adopt it without you saying or directing or making any word. And this is the first, the advice of Utbah bin Sufyan. And the other one, which says, فعل رجل في ألف رجل خير من كلمة ألف رجل في رجل. The effect or the impact the sincere action or efforts that one man can make in 1,000 people is way greater than 1,000 people are giving advices to one person. This is the effect of the actions. Let's move. The second point, which is related to the self-purification or husn al-akhlaq, is to raise your bar. Raise your bar. We said that you will watch your behavior. It's not enough for you as a mentor to be mediocre. You need to be exceptional as much as you can. خذ نفسك بالعزيمة. As much as you can. Don't be on the average, but be on the exception as much as you can. Because when you set yourself with the azima, you will raise the bar of your mentees gradually and normally. And I quoted the Imam Ahmed, as it was said that Ahmed, في fiqh. But Ahmed was a mentor. He said, whenever he used Ya Rajaban Arba, it was asking about fiqh issue, and some of them he used to say, حلال لك فعله غير أن أحمد لا يفعلها. Himself. You can do that, but myself, I don't do it. Why? It's halal, but I'm raising my bar. I'm taking myself with the azima, not the concession, not the rukhsa. As a mentor, you need as much as you can, with whatever capacity you have, all the time to seek a way to raise your bar. Raising your bar with is it enough to read just 2 pages of the Quran that you set with your peers in the halaqah, or 5 pages of the Quran and the system that you had in your usra? But that's okay to make it as much as they can, but for yourself, add double it for yourself. Without even reporting it. Because you need, I will have a graph now to share with you, because you need to make the way for them by your own actions. The third one, which is to be the first to give and the last to take. As a mentor, the first to give. The first at the forefront, whenever there is we need that, I am here. And we have that, I'm back. I don't need it. Even if you and a dire need to it, you'll take the back seat when there is a ghanima, there is a benefit, there is a position, an appearance, and the visibility. Unless there is a need for it, for someone to be in this position, and you have the capacity to it, take it, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help in doing it. And the quote that you have here is related to لن تراعي. I know that many of you are aware of that. لن تراعي لن تراعوا. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he said it, that very loud sound erupted, broke at night in the Medina, and the Sahaba started gushing out of their homes at night. Gushing out of their homes, looking for what is the source of that, what happened. And while they are still on their way towards the source of the sound, they found him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, coming back, and he's riding the mount of Taha without a saddle. And he telling them, don't worry, I already explored it. Everything is okay. He, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first to give, the first to pay, and the first to take care of his mentees. And القيادة الناصحة السباقة. It's another third quote from Muhammad Ahmed al-Rashid. القيادة الناصحة السباقة. And if you really would like to be a real leader, you have to take the first row when the help is needed. Let's move. It's a very important point, actually, the concept of putting yourself to the higher positions and keeping developing yourself all the time. And if you are aware of this graph is known in the physics 101 as the law of connected vessels. And what is the law of connected vessels? When you have different vessels connected together and all of them are open to the atmosphere, all of them. So this pressure is the same in all of them. When they are, regardless how big is the vent, regardless. This is physics. This is physics. So long as they are exposed to the same pressure outside, the level of the fluid has to settle at one time. It has to settle. The level has to be the same in all of these vessels. Even if one of them is big and the other one is smaller, it doesn't matter. So long as they are exposed to the same pressure outside, they all, after a while, even if one of them started higher, it will take a minute, 2 minutes, few seconds to settle down. If you are a mentor, you are here. If these are your mentees with different capacities, you have to keep pushing, adding to your reserve of goodness, reserve of knowledge, reserve of akhlaqiyat, reserve of ibadiyat, your reserve. You need to keep adding to. What is the arrow? The arrow means adding to your ibadat, adding to your knowledge, adding. So you will keep differential all the time between you and your mentees. Your level should be here. Why their level should be here? Because of what? After a month or so, the levels will, if you not keep adding to your own capacity, the levels will settle down. And any usra, the mentor does not have anything to add to the mentees, is useless usra. Any usra, any group, the mentor has no value on it, has no differential difference between him and the mentees, between her and the mentees, is useless. Because the mentees will not grow. They will not grow unless he pours, unless he or she adds. You will not be able to grow the spirituality of your people unless you have been adding, continuously adding to your spiritual capacity. The morals of your mentees, unless you have been adding, have been growing, you have been growing in your morals, have been growing in your spirituality, growing in your knowledge. And this is why, as a mentor, you need, when you come to the usra every time, or as much as you can, something new. Prepare something new. New from the news, new from the knowledge, and the mentor does not have to be the most knowledgeable when it comes to fiqh. Doesn't have to, but has something to offer, even if it will facilitate to them a way to increase their fiqh. It doesn't have to be through me as a mentor, but I had a contribution towards the fiqh, contribution towards their moral capacity, contribution towards their activism. By that, actually, I will continuously, and this is why it's not a one time. Because as we said, if this is just one time that you spontaneously increase your knowledge, and you did not do it again, the levels will settle down after a while. But you need to continuously, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا, زَكَّاهَا continuously. And this is very important. But please take a visual picture by your eyes from this picture, and try to keep it in your mind and your heart and in the forehead all the time. If you are a mentor, that you need to continuously add to yourself. We are close to finish. The last point, which is what are the skills that we need to maintain in ourselves as a mentors? Understanding the reality that we live in. The reality of the mentees, the reality of the environment. As a mentor, you need to be aware, relevant to the people that you lead, relevant to the environment that you live in, relevant to them, and we started with the mentees, understanding the weak points, the needs, areas for improvement, the powerful points of the mentors, so you can help each one of them to fix their mistakes, help each one of them to overcome the weak points, help each one of them to utilize and to unpack their points of strength. And understanding the mentees will help them to giving them excuses as well. A few minutes ago, you said that before lashing, ask. Before complaining and blaming, ask. And reach out. And they might have some circumstances. The example I gave you is a very wonderful example by Him sallallahu alaihi wasallam for the lady who lost her son, and she was yelling and laminating on the graveyard and weeping on the graveyard, and He sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed by her and asked her, Ya Ahmed, Allah is puri. And she told Him sallallahu alaihi wasallam why, even she did not look at Him sallallahu alaihi wasallam out of the sorrow she has. إليك عني فإنك لم تصب مصيبتي. Leave me alone. You don't know what I have, what I'm suffering. Leave me alone. And He sallallahu alaihi wasallam left her alone. It's not time for mentorship now. It's a time to understand her circumstances and her weak point. And He sallallahu alaihi wasallam left her. The Sahaba told her, how dare you say that to Rasulullah? I'm sure. See, she went to him to apologize. And He sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave her the lesson, not on spot because she was in a situation that does not allow her to listen to an advice. But He sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave her the mentorship, the advice. إنما الصبر عند الصدمة الأولى. When she came, calm down. Here, this is the time to give you the mentorship. And check your usra, your halaqa, and be passionate, be merciful with the people, be serious. So people as well can raise the bar. But when it happens, especially for people that never made any mistakes, or it's not normal for them to be slacking, be helpful, ask about them. They might be passing through some of the life ups and downs and so on. The environment, be understanding for the environment that you live in and what are the pluses, minuses on the environment. Be aware of the challenges that the environment we are in, and we live in the. My advice for myself and every one of us: try to increase your awareness of the language, mental language, and the spoken language. Both, especially for the immigrants like me. The spoken language is very important for you to be aware of, to a good extent, of the spoken language that your mentees, especially the mentees are on different generation, as much as you can. And the mental language as well. If you cannot mentor, high schoolers don't take it. If I don't take it. I don't have the skills to do it. I give it to someone else because I don't have the mental language to communicate. I might be able to do it with the college and the professionals, but so because you need to understand the environment you practice your mentorship in, the culture, the language, mental and the spoken, and the challenges and the potentials in this environment. Because if you know the environment, you will be able to guide your people to use the environment, guide your mentees to use their skills and build their skills. And this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did with Zayd radiallahu anhu, Zayd ibn Thabit. When he came him, his mother brought him to him sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Badr and asked him to take him to fight. And Zayd did not have a big body. And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not permit him to partake in the fight. And his mother actually was very, very, very wise lady. And he told him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I know that you rejected him because of his physical capacity, but his mental capacity is huge. Test him, he has a very sharp memory. And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam tested him, and he found him very sharply. And he asked him, he commissioned him, because he understands the mentee and understands the environment. Go and learn two languages, and he gave him the commitment to learn Hebrew and Syriac. And this Hassan was in the phase of communicating with the kings at the time. So he needs clerks, he needs translators, and commissioned him to learn these. And Zayd mastered the two languages in 14 days, and he became the clerk for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So understanding you as a mentor, understanding what your environment needs, what your mentees can do, and make the mapping between these the needs of the environment and the capacity of your mentees. And the other one, which is to help people, and this is the last one, to help your people actually covering their mistakes and their shortcomings. Someone at the Usra is kind of struggling financially, struggling emotionally or family or provide the help if you can, or provide a way for others to provide this help. This is what Isa did with the man who came asking, and Isa told him, instead of asking, this is actually how can you gain money, and he gave him the axe and asked him to go and to cut wood and to sow and to come to him after 15 days, and the man came after 15 days after starting making money, and Isa gave him the advice, فَذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنْ أَنْ تَسْأَلَ النَّاسَ أَعْطَوْكَ أَمْ لَمْ يُعْطُوكَ. But Isa did help him by even, he made the axe for him by his hand, and told him that go and visit. And we as mentors, we need to, as well, to think all the time for how can we fix the situations of our mentees. We'll not be able, by the way, to do it unless we'll have the connection, the emotional connection between us and our mentees. And this connection has to be built gradually, faithfully, normally. You will not be able to force yourself in your mentees. You cannot do it. They will not allow, especially if they are old enough, they will not allow you to interfere in their life unless you made this connection. They will be seeking you. As a mentor, one of the signs of your success is for your mentees to come to you, to ask for your help. I need to have a time with you. If this happens, because I'm facing something personal, I need to have a time with you. It means you succeeded in your job, because you made the connection that allowed your mentee to trust you. And the second part of the job will come now to direct them. I will stop here, and we can take few minutes, 3 minutes?
3 minutes question.
3 minutes to, it doesn't have to be questions, it can be additions.
Yes.
I know everyone has expertise and skills. Please. In addition to it.
daunting responsibilities, and that we're not, that we may not be worthy of these responsibilities, or we may not be cut out, or we may not be prepared well enough for these types of responsibilities. And that's the very thing that's supposed to bring us up sometimes will bring us down. So I don't know if anyone's been through this or has felt this way at any point in time, but I think and in our time and age, we don't have a lot of good examples. We don't. Alhamdulillah, we have this. This is alhamdulillah, this is the best thing that we can have as a support system. But when we're away, or when we're too busy, or when we don't have enough support around us, that's how we can feel sometimes. And it's probably more daunting when you're starting out. For when we give our young people these types of responsibilities or expectations, and when we present it to them in this matter, it can be very challenging.
وكلنا ذلك الرجل. Every one of us actually are facing the same. I don't think anyone can say that I am able to do it. The mentorship. I don't think any one of us, regardless of the experience and the time, and can say that I mastered it. No one does it. But واستعينوا بالله. واصبروا. And as well, do your best. And استعن بالله ولا تعجز. So asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the help to allow you to do it, and don't feel down, because it's a responsibility anyway that someone has to do it. And this is what actually it is from the literature of the activism in the movement, is not to seek the responsibility, but if you were dispatched to it, take it and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the help to do it. Don't seek it unless, like Yusuf, No one in the gathering had disability, and I think I have something, but I have weaknesses. And so take it and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you with that. You, Musa took it and asked for help. وأخي هارون وهو أفصح مني لسانا فأرسله معي يريد أن يصدقني إني أخاف أن يكذبون. Musa took it and asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. And as well, you have a responsibility of middle schoolers, high schoolers, of college or adults, and we know that we have shortcomings. And otherwise, if I will not take it, it will be in a bad situation. So take it and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. The system should help you. ما كلف رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أحدا إلا أعانه. And this should be the responsibility of the system. The Tarbiyah system, Dr. Shan already left, but Omar is here. The Tarbiyah system should help actually the mentors. And when we assign to a mentorship assignment, the system should allow us actually to raise our bar, to increase our knowledge, and to give us the follow-up system for follow-ups and checks and balances, and then take it, don't drop it. Because it can be one of the tricks of the shaitan. That exactly like we do with the ikhlas and the mura'ah, and don't leave the good deed because I'm afraid of the riyah. Take it and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you the ikhlas all the time. So this is my answer, Allah. Anyone has any addition to that? Any advice? Sister Hidayah? Yes.
I would say the 1,000-mile road starts with a mile. Champions were beginners, and we should never, give up. Always, and it's a journey. Not because we're perfect and we know a lot and we give responsibility. It's just the way, you just ride this journey with it. It's a growth for ourselves. Basically, not by reading a book, actually by teaching it. You learn and teach, and it's the way to embrace and you grow with them. If you despair and you give up, then who's going to take the responsibility?
Exactly. And the growth in the corporate, we learn and teach the growth mindset. What's the growth mindset? Is to help each other to grow. And whether this is the manager who dealing with the mentees or a mentor, or the reporters, or everyone. The manager will say that, guys, I don't know, I am not aware of this, but let's actually master it together. And I can make the connection for you to work on it. And so we will learn together. This is the growth mindset. It's very important actually for us to establish with our halaqat. But the younger generation or the middle school, high schoolers might not understand it. But for the older, starting from the college and up, it's very normal to tell your halaqa that I'm not 100% the best one who can do it, but we can work on it together and we can help them to create a system.
The one thing that really struck me hard was the one about staying relevant and being relevant. And this in itself is not only, just a skill, but it's a talent that you need to develop in home. Like in sports, anyone could understand the rules of basketball and know how to play basketball. The question is, can you be good at it? And, it's something that you have to continuously develop and so forth. And you touched on it on another point, like the growth mindset and what have you. It's not just in mentoring and menteeship, it's also in your everyday life, in your career and stuff. You have to be relevant, you have to produce, you have to give something. And then, to develop that skills, because if you don't, and especially you being as a mentor, if you're not being relevant, you're not relaying the message, you're not encouraging, you're not developing the receivers, the mentees to it. This is something that I really would love to focus on, and if we could find other ways, to really develop this and hone this skill, I'm very, very interested in this one. To me, this is one of the most important and most critical pieces to this.
Yeah, I guess I want to add, let's not look at it as only, the growth mindset as a content knowledge. It's a process. This is a process, meaning it will never be perfect, and it will always be there. Always like this. It's like SMART goals. You put a goal, once you reach that goal, you raise the bar and you put another goal. So it's really a process. It's not like he didn't memorize the fact, so I didn't teach. It's exactly like going to the gym. Your goal is to raise 30 pounds, but you still didn't do it. That doesn't mean you didn't learn. The learning is there. Just look at it as a process. And we'll make
Dr. Roy?
Also, that on today's tools we have, there is professional mentorship classes, professional facilitation classes, teaching classes, all this kind of training classes. So those things that we can also get outside of our regular mass tools that we have.
Jazakallah
I
khair.
think we need to make it in a sense that every mentorship goes through a specific training in those tools.
Jazakallah khair. And actually, Sister Mervat should be updating us on the next training, which will be in January, where we'll have a mentorship class with the Octi and the Rami Khawasis will be coming, correct, in January. And I mentioned the mentorship from the applied experience or from the experience, but he will present it professionally. As a professional, Octi is a professional company in the leadership and the mentorship area for the community development. So they will go through that professionally with us. You have less?
I do have just a comment here. We are not like, if you are not doing this as a profession, as a career, not necessarily that you're not good at it. And you don't have to be good at it to say that, oh, I'm fit for this, I'm fit for that. There is more than 35 characters and strengths you can find in yourself, you can tap on, and you can connect with those youth and others. And
Jazakallah
make
khair.
a difference in it.
Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah feek. I'm very sorry for going.
Can we have a copy of the?
Yes, inshallah, we'll get you, inshallah, give you a copy of the presentation. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallahu feekum, Dr. Ahmed. 3 announcements, inshallah, before we leave, and I would welcome Brother Yunus Latif to the stage, inshallah, to start, inshallah, the last segment of the day. So November 12th, inshallah, for all brothers, the camp, inshallah. Don't forget to sign up for the camp and bring your sons. More information, you can seek it from Brother Kareem or Brother November 19 for the college and young professionals mentors, inshallah, meet and greet. We're planning a meet and greet to invite all the, remember the conference, the last conference of Mass Dallas? Inshallah, we have a big group of mentees, inshallah, who are interested to start either Usra or Halaqa. So, inshallah, that meet and greet will be, would like for your, inshallah, for your presence to be there, inshallah. January 13, and please block that date on your calendar. January 13 would be the training that Dr. Ahmed has just mentioned. It's mainly a hands-on workshop about how to acquire coaching and mentoring skills to become a better and effective mentor. And Jazakumullah khairan for all the adults mentors and college and young professional mentors for joining us from the beginning of the day. You're welcome to stay, but your mandatory part is over, alhamdulillah, so Jazakallah khairan. Mainly this session is for the middle high school scouting program, inshallah, and youth workers. Any type of youth worker, you're welcome to stay, inshallah, because this session is catered to you, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan.